Hey everybody, it's Michael Eaton.
Zach Watson.
And we just saw Dora and the Lost City of Gold. And with us is a very special guest, Ariel Peoples.
My fiance.
It was so wonderful having you with us tonight. Really, it was.
Now, we want to know, what did you think of the movie,
Yeah, what
babe?
did you think? All I gotta say is, what the hell did we just sit through? What was that?
I think you have to either be like a parent with a kid or you have to be a kid yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch it.
Yeah.
But the sexual innuendos, because they clearly did it for more of a preteen demographic.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like the writers never saw the show that they were making the movie out of. Because we got one, maybe two scenes where it was actually like the show in the beginning, where it was, trying to redo the opening of the show.
I gotta admit, that was kind of cute. It was
cutesy from a kid's perspective.
Yeah.
But when you're trying to take someone's childhood show where they maybe learned Spanish or maybe found love for a different language or a different culture or just a love for adventures in general, and you botch it to where you literally poke so much fun at it, it's like you're telling the people they just weren't great for enjoying it.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Because the second time they brought it back to look like the show, they literally did it because of a drug trip.
Yeah.
Not joking wise, they literally had them suck in spores from big plants that made them look at each other as if they were from the cartoon itself.
And that only lasted for 15 seconds?
Nah, more like 2 minutes.
It didn't even feel like 2 minutes.
It was 2 minutes.
It felt like 30 seconds or something.
2 minutes. Because you had to think, as soon as they started to change, that was about 30-ish seconds.
Yeah.
Then they went completely cartooned, and the dude stripped and ran, and her and Diego are staring at each other like, oh my god, we're cartoons!
Yeah, cartoons of themselves, which...
It was pointless.
Yeah. I mean, that was just straight up fan service for people who watched the show. Because I didn't watch the show. I was watching Blue's Clues, Little Bear, Franklin. Remember Franklin?
I watched all three of those, but I still had time for this show too because it was such a great cartoon to me.
And Abby actually grew up watching it too, and sadly she couldn't make it. Miss you, babe. You would have hated this film just as much as we did.
Oh my god, you and I would have been the most vulgar people towards this movie.
Yeah, and seeing Abby get vulgar, I would like to see that. But still,
honestly, that sounds pretty hilarious.
Almost as funny as whenever she cusses, right?
Yeah, kind of. Depends on what we're cussing about.
Yeah, but still. So basically, what this film is about is, it's not even like the show. It's basically Dora the Explorer. Oh, she's the fish out of water, going to high school and getting away from the jungle. Hey, Shelby and Logan Heiser, what's up, bro? And basically, she goes to find her missing parents with the help of a old friend of theirs. And, my God, even we could figure out that cliche when he showed up.
If you've ever played a Uncharted video game, a Tomb Raider video game, or have seen any kind of old movie,
especially Indiana Jones,
where one of the main characters goes, "I'm a friend of your parents," or a friend of your friends, or whatever, in the first 20 minutes of the movie, maybe, then you know it's gonna be the bad guy.
Yeah.
They never do that cliche where he's legitimately a good guy.
No.
It's never happened. And then in this one, they try to make you believe it, but it's like, I know your tricks.
Because they make him a goof.
They do. They overplay his goofiness. And they do it in such a horrible way. Like, the CGI was atrocious. This man's acting was atrocious.
Yeah.
And the whole way they try to play the whole show off was atrocious. In the beginning, when you finally get to sit down and you're thinking, oh, this might actually be a great movie, because you're still looking at young Dora and her parents. You don't see Abuela.
I got to admit, that young girl who played young Dora in the beginning of the film, if this movie was just her,
it would have been great. It would have been a lot better, because she was surprisingly a great actress for her young age.
And who's the actress who played the teenage Dora? She was the same one who was in Instant Family.
I don't know. But the thing is,
I don't remember her name. Isabella something?
I don't know. I didn't bother to catch her name. I'm just sitting there like, why? Why? This had to be a good paycheck. Like, for all the actors and actresses in this movie, this had to have been a great paycheck. Because the father is played by the guy in Ant-Man who is literally the one person we all want to see do the Marvel recap in the movies. The fast talking.
Michael-
Well, this friend of my friend and this friend of my friend, kind
Yeah,
of guy.
yeah, Michael Pena.
And then you got Danny Trejo, who played in the film
Yeah.
as Boots.
Yeah, Danny Trejo, Machete, shows up. Yeah, Machete from Spy Kids shows up as Boots the monkey for like 10 seconds and gives a heartwarming speech to Dora, who's, I swear she's staring at him like,
She was staring at him like she's like, "Oh my God, this pink meth just kicked in, and you're starting to sell like Machete, pink meth. Oh my God."
I'm so sorry, you're supposed to be bleeding right now.
Yes, Shelby, it was very bad. Very.
Yeah, Shelby, so was it bad? Yes.
I think it
yes,
would have
Shelby,
been
it
better if they didn't make her seem like still like a child when she grew up.
was. Yeah.
See, that's the problem. They're trying to play it too young and kid friendly,
Yeah.
but the movie was full of sexual innuendos,
there were
fart jokes.
there's like a
Poop jokes.
Yeah, there's like 5 minutes dedicated to fart and poop jokes. So
And there's literally an entire scene between two characters who have no chemistry of any kind throughout the film. No friendly chemistry, just a bully and the victim throughout the entire movie. And the one kid is sitting there like, "Oh my God, they're lost. They're dead. We're going to have to start a family." We're not starting a family. We're going to have to start a family. Give it a few days. No.
Talk about mating for 5 minutes.
yeah,
too.
they talk about mating for 5 straight minutes.
And one of the characters in freaking Quicksand, what do? They make another sex joke because two scorpions look like they're fighting until they're like, "Oh, wait."
There's 2 scorpions on top of this guy's head, and it looks like they're gonna fight. But Dora says they're not fighting; they're mating.
And then the guy starts freaking out like,
And
"Woo!"
that was the same exact face I had when she said that.
Like, oh my God, it was the most
I'm like-
atrocious thing in the world. Like, maybe if this movie was given like a PG-13 rating, that joke would have worked because they would have played it as a bit more of an adult moment.
You would never see Nickelodeon. This is produced by Nickelodeon Studios, and you will never see them make PG-13 movies.
Nickelodeon Studios has done great things in the past.
Yeah.
A lot of atrocious things in the past.
Yeah,
But they've done a lot of good movies and shows.
yeah. I like a lot of the Nickelodeon movies that some people don't like. I loved Jimmy Neutron growing up.
I mean, Jimmy Neutron was a great series. A lot of the old Nickelodeon shows were
And-
wonderful.
And we were talking to Marilyn in there, who, by the way, is an absolute saint. She was so nice to us.
Yep.
Like, we told her, like, what we do with Two Dudes Review and all that. And she actually gave us an official photo, as well as free popcorn.
And
Yep.
a discount
Yeah.
on tickets.
Plus, she even told us if at any time that we were in there for a movie and we want to review it in the theater, you just gotta let him know. And once the theater's cleared out, we're free to go in there and do our review.
Yep.
So
So,
you might occasionally catch us doing a review live from the theater.
yep. And also great shout out to the Lincoln Grand for having us there. We love you. We love the Lincoln Grand Theater.
It's a great place to be. It's a really nice theater. It's small, but it's really pretty to look at. And when you're in there, the seats are fantastic and the screens are perfect.
And the people there who work there are absolutely friendly.
They are the friendliest staff I've ever met at
Yes.
some big theaters.
Even better than AMC sometimes.
Oh yeah, AMC staff is good, but this staff tonight, instant
Fantastic.
love.
Yes. Now I want to know: did you guys grow up watching this?
Yes.
Watching the show as kids?
My sister more than me, but yeah, she was obsessed with it. So of course, when she was younger, she's like, "Oh, let's watch Dora." I'm like, "Sure." So it was more her. I mean, I've seen it, of course, but I wasn't like obsessed with it like my sister was.
Hey Marilyn. It was actually a great pleasure doing this review at your theater. Thank you so much for having us.
But and it's something similar for me as a child watching this show. It was I'd sit down and watch it with my grandma, and we'd have fun because my grandma's name, her first name anyway, is Dora. So as a kid, she got me to believe that the cartoon was based on adventures she had growing up.
Oh,
So it
typical-
felt almost like it was more just like a family history until I realized, wait a minute, I don't think there's Mexican culture in my blood.
no, because you are so white.
I am. I'm paler than pale. There are days where Casper looks at me and goes, "Man, you're white."
Oh yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, as a kid, and you're hearing that, and you make the connection of Dora, you're thinking, oh my God, that's so cool. But then you see this movie and you're like, what is this? Why?
Yeah. This ain't like what they did with Power Rangers 2017, because that, looking back, that's a masterpiece compared to this crap.
Compared to this movie, that was a masterpiece of all kinds, because at least that one had callbacks to the lore, to past seasons of the show. It had callbacks to Bryan Cranston's other roles in the Power Ranger series. It had callbacks to everything.
There's only callbacks, like, last for a short amount of time.
Okay, let's see. There was the callback at the beginning when they did the opening theme and the opening read it.
Yeah, the Dora, 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 the Explorer.
And then they also remade it because they had Diego involved with it.
Yeah, he looks exactly like the kid from the cartoon.
Young Diego.
Yeah,
did.
young Diego.
Old Diego is very, very much so your generic, oh my god, he changed a lot. I haven't.
No. He actually grew up, though. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Dora didn't grow up. He grew up into, like, a normal person and, like, society.
Yeah, because she never interacts with society.
In the fullest defense of her character...
She never left the jungle as a little bit.
I was going to say, in the fullest defense of her character in the movie, yeah, she never did leave the jungle until she was of high school age. So, of course, she's going to seem weird and quirky to other people. But at the same time, when your weird and quirkiness only comes from being in a specific place like that your whole life, even you should know, hey, maybe I shouldn't talk about animals right about now. Maybe I should wait on trying to tell people I'm from the jungle. Maybe I should just sit, be a little quiet, maybe try to make a friend or two.
Not this girl.
Nope. She's your generic, hyperactive teenager who thinks she knows everything, but has to learn her own life lessons because there was a forced moral at the end of the movie.
Yeah, there's all the Nickelodeon movies have forced morals.
Yes, but this one was more shoved down your throat than anything else because it starts off with, Dora, we're not treasure hunters, we're explorers. There's a difference. All the way to, oh my gosh, somehow there's an actual Inca god in this film? What? I'm not like them. I'm different.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, it turns out there's Inca soldiers who still are alive after being lost for millions of years?
Supposedly.
Well, see, with her acting like a kid, when you're a kid, you think you're always right. You don't know that you're not wrong. Yeah. And that's kind of what she's acting like.
Right, but at the same time, when you're literally being told, hey, you're literally about to end up hurting yourself because you fell down this crevice to find this statue thing to try to prove yourself to us, you should know you're not ready because who's going to sit there and think, oh, I can make that jump? Oh, could somebody go get mom and dad? Please. I hurt my leg. To, oh yeah, I'm totally ready to fight a jungle. I'm totally ready to fight some mercenaries.
I didn't even notice that until you brought it up.
Well, just think about it. In the beginning of the movie, when she first grows up, before she's sent to high school, she just is like, oh, paparazzi or whatever it is. Woo! Boots evacuates ship off of Dora's back as she's about to jump over this crevice in some cave. She falls, and she's like, Boots, get mom and dad. And then they give her a speech of, Dora, you could have been hurt or worse if we weren't here to pull you up once Boots found us. Like
we're not always gonna be there to pull you back up.
Right, I mean, the forced moral, if you're gonna force a moral like that in a Nickelodeon movie about what's a treasure hunter and what's an explorer, the easiest way to do it is quite simply start with the moral you had in the beginning of the film. You gotta work your way up, because that would have been a much better moral in the film. Yeah. She proved herself not ready for a real adventure, unlike what her supposed kid-like fantasies were. But if you're gonna sit there and then go from those kinds of morals to there's a difference between this and this, honestly, the movie doesn't give us much of what's supposed to be our moral.
No.
It's like if I went to you and told you, hey, this apple and banana are two different things. By the way, did you know a brain surgeon and a neurosurgeon are technically different? It's like, wait, what?
And I'd be like, what the hell are you smoking?
Exactly.
And what kind of moral is that?
Exactly.
I'm just saying, everybody, this is one of the worst TV show adaptations I have ever seen.
Now, if you need something brainless to put your kids in front of for a good, hour and a half, 2 hours, this movie, do it. Yeah. Great. There's enough of a poop joke in there and enough fart jokes.
Seriously, there's a whole there's a whole scene where they're sinking in quicksand, and every time they move, it makes a fart noise.
That bit there is enough to keep a good 6-7-year-old boy entertained for a good 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, good luck getting 6 or 7-year-old girls, because they're not gonna like that.
No, literally, one of our main antagonists that becomes one of our main characters early on in the film. Her little thing is quite literally just being the mean girl.
Mm-hmm.
Any movie you could think of that involves a new person who just doesn't quite fit in with the crowd at high school, and you've got your mean girl.
Yeah, and then over time she gets this character development, and she becomes nicer, and she becomes more accepting of people, and she becomes like, oh, I used to not like you guys, but now I consider you my family now.
Exactly, and it's like, I'm sorry, but what?
Like, you see that all the freaking time.
Especially the forced romance between her
and Diego.
Because throughout the movie, we get the, oh, she's mean, no one likes her. Do you like her? No, never. Not in a million years. So 20 minutes later, when they're in the freaking jungle just sitting there chilling, Dora and Diego, oh my god, you have a thing for her.
and he's like, what? No, I don't.
Never. I never
like,
once said that.
I swear, you could have replaced, I'm sorry, but you could have replaced Diego with a cardboard cutout of a boy band member, and it'll be the same friggin' thing.
And to anybody who watches this and says something about how they how they talk about different cultures, you will be right. They do actually explain different kinds of cultures well. They do show these characters of a different culture in a light that isn't supposed to be some generic stereotype.
Yeah.
They do well at giving some of these characters personality.
Mm-hmm.
Where they fail with that personality is they make them seem like one-dimensional personalities.
Like the mean girl, the quirky dork, the super eccentric girl who doesn't know any better, but she has a heart of gold, and her very strict cousin who has lost all joy in his life.
Exactly. You've got your very basic cutouts for any teenage movie. I could literally put those four into any formula of either Power Rangers or The Breakfast Club, or even Victorious, and I could get the same results in half the time.
Did you just say Victorious?
Yes, I did. I just brought that in there.
The sitcom?
Yes.
From Nickelodeon. That was a good show. I love that show.
Really?
Yes.
It was a good show. It was kind of like, it was like another version of kind of like iCarly kind of thing.
Yeah, we got Ariana Grande from that, which, not good.
Point is,
sorry if you all like Ariana Grande, I don't.
None of us do. No.
I like the old Ariana Grande.
Yeah, before she started licking donuts.
No, her old music was better.
Point is, I can take this cast of characters, put them into anything else, and get the same results.
Yeah, a good way of how this dynamic can work. Again, in the 2017 Power Rangers movie, I don't remember anything about them being the Power Rangers. I just remember them being characters and interacting with each other. Like, Billy has autism. There's I think it's Jason. Yeah, he's the troublemaker, and Zach is the outcast. Sorry.
Yep. Zach was the outcast because he had to take care of his mom. He had to do whatever he can, but his outlet for any stress and anything was based on his martial arts and the music he listened to, because that's what got him pumped. For Trini, she felt like an outcast as well, similar to Zach, but it's because of a different reason. She came out to be lesbian. She was gay, but she didn't feel accepted because of that. But at the same time, she found different outlets that would allow her to relieve that stress, that anxiety, and be who she wanted to be, even if it did cost her being a tough exterior stereotype. Jason, he's a troublemaker. He's got all these expectations that his dad wants him to live up to, but he's trying to break that formula by showing his dad what he doesn't want to do. He wants to be the kid who can make his own choices. Billy, he's autistic.
Yeah, he
has an actual reason for being extra weird and for being this eccentric person, because he wants to build off of his dad's legacy that he saw from his perspective. And his autistic mind and eventual powers as a Power Ranger gives him that ability to do such a thing and to follow a passion of his that isn't just based on, oh my god, I've got superpowers, now I have to save the world stereotypes. The whole movie, even without Kimberly's pretty girl stereotype becoming a tough fighter, the whole cast itself, when you look at them each individually, I can remember them. as opposed to this movie.
I can't remember a single freaking character in this because they're so cardboard cutout, and they're so like, oh, let's pull it out of the generic bucket and put it into a blender, and then oh, that's your loser group. Oh, there's your parents.
Exactly.
Your parents who have a heart of gold. Oh, there's this supposed friend who turns out to be a bad guy.
I mean, if you were to ask me anything about this movie within a day, I could tell you I saw that. Did I really?
But do we really remember it?
Like,
or fondly?
Like, do I even think about it? Like, the CGI in this movie was atrocious. And when Danny Trejo's voice, that manly voice of his, came out of that itty-bitty CGI monkey garbage, oh my gosh, I can tell you what my nightmares are tonight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that and Swiper the Fox.
Swiper the Fox. Benicio del Toro is Swiper the Fox. Oh my god.
These paychecks that these people are getting better be worth it. I'm serious.
This is a guy who is in The Usual Suspects, Sicario, and so many other great stuff, and yet he's subjecting himself to being Swiper the frickin' Fox in this.
Like, don't get me wrong, these characters in their time was a little funny because Boots in the show, he was a monkey who could talk and he had a chance to interact with the characters just as much as Dora did.
A funny thing is Boots could actually talk to other creatures, including humans.
Yeah, that was the thing.
In the show. Why did they leave that out in this movie?
Right, like the only time we see him talk is quite literally when Dora's doing her stereotypical, I can't do anything right. Oh, I should have just stayed home like they wanted. And then he's like, no, Dora, you got this. You can do it. And I'm just sitting there in my chair screaming because I'm hearing Danny Trejo's voice.
Ariel was there. She saw him like shake.
I was honestly scared for my life.
You literally saw him shake and get super tense.
I was just...
You got more upset at this than you did at the Lion King remake.
Because the Lion King remake, I can forgive. I can remember that remake.
I can't forgive it, but I can't forget it either.
I remember that remake as opposed to this. I remember that one more fondly than I remember this movie.
I'm sorry, this live action is about as bad as the live action Last Airbender.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's about what I can compare
Anyone
it to.
who's seen the live action Last Airbender movie and you think that's good, get your freaking brain checked because that movie is atrocious.
I will give it this. It closely resembled the source material more than this movie.
So you're saying the Last Airbender
compared to this is better.
Well, at least in the Dora movie, they actually got their names right.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, but think about it. They got the source material.
Ong, Katara.
I never said it was good. I just said compared to this, it's better. And the funny thing is, I didn't watch the full movie.
I still think The Last Airbender is a piece of garbage movie.
Nothing can be worse than that, if so.
No.
But pretty much we
seriously, M. Night Shyamalan, you are going to get your butt handed to you one day.
If we had the chance here to take this movie and rework it ourselves as like a small group of people, we could probably remake this movie a lot better.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, the way this movie worked, they had a great setup for a legitimately great adventure. They had a lot of great stuff going for them. They just didn't take the chance. Nickelodeon, you wanted to do a, what was it? Legends of the Hidden Temple reboot?
Yeah.
You did a movie like that?
Yeah.
You're doing a reboot for Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I loved Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I did too. And they're doing a reboot of that show. They're bringing it back. And you're trying to work on a Nick Jr. Blues Clues reboot coming out this November. If you're going to take any of your...
Are we going to review that show? Because I want to tear that crap apart.
We're going to review that show. But if you're going to do anything with any of your childhood properties, like a live action movie like you did with Dora tonight, go home, get a bottle of Jack, and reevaluate your choices. Because if you're going to keep trying to deliver things like that and claim it good, especially with your Rotten Tomato score being at 82%, you have to give us something worth an 82%. This movie is worth maybe a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes, just because you had a good hand-drawn illusion for about 2 minutes of a film. And then you had it again at the end when the credits were done and you had your original trio of animals with their instruments come do your ending jingle. Like after they completed every adventure in the show.
Yeah.
It's not even worth the $9 to go see it.
Like, if you come to this theater and you pay for any of their tickets, any of these movies would be a better choice for you. Like, the stories they tell in the Dark movie, that movie looks phenomenal as opposed to this. And I even saw a small documentary on how they did those monster suits for this movie. And that alone makes me want to go see this even more, because I know how they did it, how they followed that source material so strictly with Guillermo del Toro. In this one, I felt like Guillermo del Toro could have scared the crap out of me anyway, because the CGI was atrocious. The story was bad. The character dialogue was so easily readable.
It was so generic. I'll tell you this. It was so dang generic and so forgettable, so lifeless at times that...
Oh, do I have my Tylenol still? Because,
Yeah,
oh, Lord.
yeah, you have your
I need my Tylenol.
you need your Tylenol to get through this movie.
I have a headache from this movie. This movie is... I don't think I have my
Does
Tylenol.
he do this a lot?
No.
Like, do you get headaches from
No.
seeing bad movies?
No, because if that was the case, when I saw 50 Shades, I would have had a massive headache.
Yeah, me and Abby still have not seen that because we don't want to watch.
Count yourself lucky.
We don't want to watch porn.
It was either that or Twilight. I chose the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, I would not. Like,
I chose the lesser of two evils.
I know.
So...
Yeah.
Now, if I had to choose between those two series or this movie, I'm going with the other two evils. Like, I'll do a double feature.
Yeah, at least then Ariel would actually have a good time, and you would actually have a decent time.
Yeah, I'd be dying less, because one screen I'm seeing a shirtless man try to kill another shirtless man. On the other one, I'm just seeing a shirtless man seduce a blonde girl or some redhead.
But in this movie, you have a middle-aged Mexican dude, like stripping naked for no reason, running into a field.
And then on top of that, all the sexual innuendos, all the fart jokes, all the poop jokes, and all the other sorts of jokes they make that just make this movie.
It's just your run-of-the-mill Nickelodeon movie of the week.
It's
And not even that.
It's gonna literally appear on Nickelodeon. You guys are gonna see it, and as soon as you see it and realize what we saw, you're gonna see that Rotten Tomatoes score go from 82%. What?
I'm like, because we are not your normal movie critics. Because we actually come from people who love cinema and who grew up watching these kinds of shows as kids.
And granted, we did that poll on what you guys wanted us to review, good movies or bad movies. Well, to get to those good movies that we can review, we have to take our picks. And the reason we wanted to see this one was because the trailer made it look like it was going to be a laughable movie.
Yeah.
The Rotten Tomatoes score made us think otherwise. We get in the theater, and what do we get? The laughability of a horrid movie that I swear was 3 straws short of being a wannabe indie horror film. Because towards the end, when Swiper the Fox, for unbelievably weird reasons, steals some golden statue, and literally the special effects of the mummy, minus the face in a storm cloud, comes after all of our main characters, what do they decide to do after they stop Swiper? Run back into the dark, evil smoke thing that's coming after them, just to set the statue on a podium. Like, I'm sorry,
and
a podium defeats this monster thing?
Yeah, and make the storm go away.
Like,
I mean, my God, Indiana Jones would laugh at how stupid this is.
Indiana Jones would get a kick out of it because at least he wasn't beaten by a yo-yo.
Yeah, apparently a yo-yo is Dora's most deadliest weapon in her backpack.
A throwaway line in the beginning of the film literally becomes one of the golden weapons of the film. Because in the beginning, when she's first at high school, what do? They open her bag at the metal detector because she got, she read, yes, she's got metal in there. A flare. What else does she have? A special kind of raft. Food rations. And all sorts of other crap.
A generator.
A personal generator and all this. And then they pull out of the yo-yo. She's like, I can take my yo-yo in, but none of this? This is my most powerful weapon. Like, what?
I'm like, people, what are you smoking making this?
Just whatever you're doing, start sending it to the theaters so they get supplied to the people seeing this.
Yeah.
Because, oh Lord.
Because didn't Marilyn say that she fell asleep?
She fell asleep.
She fell asleep through the screening of this movie?
She fell asleep watching this movie, and I know why. It was so boring. There was no point to us.
We do not blame Marilyn for falling asleep during this.
If anything, we bless your heart for falling asleep because we wish we could.
You guys didn't fall asleep yet.
Well, I was enraged by it. That's why.
You were so enraged, I thought you were going to have a stroke.
I thought I was just going to have some smoke come out my ears. Just.
Yeah.
But no. I couldn't
No.
sleep. I couldn't just be raged out.
I couldn't take my eyes off it because it was so horrific. So
It's like burned into your eyes now.
yeah, it is.
burned into your soul.
The CGI and all that is just absolutely god awful.
Yeah, it's the worst CG I've seen since Last Airbender.
Yeah.
And I
Heck.
hate Last Airbender.
This is
Because,
probably
because
some-
I love the TV show.
Oh yeah.
the TV show is phenomenal.
Avatar Last Airbender is one of my favorite TV shows, and they couldn't even make a faithful adaptation.
Now Netflix is trying to remake
Yeah.
it. And at
But
least they have the real
I was gonna say
creators.
Netflix has the real creators behind this, which means if anybody else tries to do a live action adaptation of Dora the Explorer,
Put it on- do it. Give it to the people who made it in the first place, and put it on Netflix.
there you go. Now, if you're gonna try to pass it off as a live action adaptation for adults, you better watch yourself because you're gonna have a lot of angry fans coming after you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of angry.
There's going to be a lot of backlash to this by any and all means of the fan base who comes after them because, just like all shows and movies know, the fan base is some of the most dangerous people to mess with. If you mess with any of their most beloved properties,
Yeah, if you mess with
they're coming for you.
You mess with Star Wars fans or Star Trek fans or like fans of anime, fans of kids animation.
Any fans of any
you
fan
better
base.
hold up to your promise of putting their childhood on the big screen so they can go, wow, that's some impressive stuff. It just brings me back to my childhood. This didn't bring me back to my childhood.
It made me pray that my childhood never sees this.
I can't imagine any adult who watched the show look at this film and say, wow.
Now, you might find...
that's like taking me back.
Right. You might find some adults who will find it laughably bad. Like, they'll remember it because they got a good laugh out of it because so much of it was messed up.
Mm-hmm.
They might find it as funny. Like, they might find it as a satire of the original show. And if they find it as a satire, great. Phenomenal. Good for you. You found a reason to like the movie because you had a reason to like the show. For me personally, if they would have kept up a satirical aspect to it, it would have been great. Because in the beginning, young Dora does reference the camera. She does talk to your audience.
That is legitimately funny.
Yeah,
When
because
she goes,
they made a satire.
Can you say deliciosa?
And the parents are looking at her like, oh, she'll grow out of it.
Yeah, it's
like,
just a phase.
Exactly. Like it was some little kid phase, being on a TV show, being this great action star.
Hey, Garrett, what's up, bro?
And this movie made it more of a joke. And that was great because I remember her doing that in every episode. Almost every 2 minutes, she was asking us, the audience, if we saw something, if we could say something. And she would respond back to us.
I think she only did that like twice or three times.
Was it twice?
Was it twice?
I only remember the one time.
It was twice when she was running from something.
Oh, that's right,
first
when she actually had the GoPro on her.
When she first becomes a teenager, and she's talking to the audience, but it's really a freaking GoPro.
It's a GoPro.
GoPro.
But the point is if they would have kept something up like that, like if this movie was young Dora and we actually see her progress to her teenage years, maybe over a course of, let's say, what was this movie, an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Then if about a good quarter of the movie instead was dedicated to her growing up and us getting to know her as a young girl so we can know her eccentricities better,
But
it
knowing-
would have been better because then they could have gone for more satirical jokes on the show itself. And then we could have gotten thrown into the cliches because by then we know what we're expecting. We know what kind of jokes to come out of it because we got to build up with a character that we are supposed to care for.
Right.
Without any caring for the characters,
And also on a side note, I heard that one of the producers of this film was Michael Bay.
I'm hoping that's a rumor.
Yeah, because I mean that was going around for a long time. I don't know if that's true, but
Granted, there was a parody trailer for a live-action Dora movie, I think by College Humor,
yeah.
or what was it? It was either College...
It was Funny or Die, I think.
Funny or Die. It was Funny or Die. They did a parody Dora the Explorer live-action movie trailer. That looked like a more faithful adaptation than this did. Because at least when they borrowed elements from other franchises, you could legitimately tell what they were doing, and they still kept to the proper Dora formula.
I couldn't tell what they were doing with this film. I don't know if they were going to tell an adventure film, or do an adaptation of the show, or do a history movie. Or...
I mean, anything with Dora the Explorer's name on it that isn't this movie is a better watch than this movie.
yeah.
Like, I mean, there's even a series where Dora the Explorer actually does grow up a little bit and has a brand new set of friends. But it's a better addition to the original show than this is.
Mm-hmm.
This makes me feel like there's a Dora mythos that we've never learned before, And it's like, what? Hold on. Dora Mythos, explain. Like, what?
There should not be no Dora Mythos.
I mean, it's like the Barney movie. If you look at the Barney movie, guess what? There's apparently a Barney Mythos now.
Oh, Lord.
There's a Barney Mythos because of that weird alien creature egg thing that hatches and then seems to explode in the last 2 minutes of the film.
What? You just brought up Barney's Great Adventure?
Yes, I just brought up Barney's Great Adventure because at least that adventure was greater than this adventure. That was the longest loop I've ever had to go for an adventure joke, but my
I
God.
cannot believe you're listening to this.
I can't believe she's marrying this.
You're listening to your fiance talk about how much he likes Barney's Great Adventure.
I wasn't even allowed to watch Barney as a kid.
Wait, what?
I mean, can you blame her? Barney has a tantric sex business.
He's a pedophile. That's why Mom didn't let me watch him.
Well, I'm pretty sure all
No,
of
the,
his
no,
actors
the
are
actor
pedophiles.
who was in the Barney suit runs that business.
He was also pedophile.
Yeah, I was not allowed to watch that.
I love you, you love me.
Maybe a little too much love there, Barney. At least this movie didn't do that.
Oh, Lord.
Although it did botch
I'm shocked if they would have done that in this movie. Oh Lord, that would be Nickelodeon's death.
Now, I will say, of all the things that I've seen come out of this movie that has been botched and horribly done, the music is the worst.
Yeah.
All of the last minute songs, like when they try to do like the map song or the backpack song,
I'm the map, I'm the map, I'm the map.
it was all horribly done, especially when she's singing the backpack song. The backpack song, back when they have to legitimately call for the backpack,
can you-
your blue arrow goes around and clicks on what they need at the time and magically spits it out.
do the song?
Backpack, 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 yay! And then at the end, when they finally choose what they need, it's yum, delicioso, and then back to being quiet.
I will say the face on backpack in this freaking creepy.
Especially when it goes, my mouth is a zipper. Zoop. It's like, good, keep it that way.
So creepy, wasn't it?
Boots is really creepy.
Boots was freaking creepy in this.
All of the CGI was creepy.
I mean,
This makes me...
Every face Boots has in this movie looks like that's the last face he makes before he eats you.
I swear, if you took every picture of Boots' face, you could literally show it to Jigsaw and he'd be like, man, that's the creepiest thing anybody's ever seen. And I kill people for a living.
This guy would make Freddy Krueger run for cover.
I wouldn't take it that far. At least Freddy Krueger would have fun with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, that's our next movie crossover, guys. Freddy Krueger versus Boots.
Freddy Krueger and Dora the Explorer.
I guarantee you
To
the
be fair,
first...
To be fair, I would actually see that.
Yes, but we all know why. He would pull the freaking, what was it,
Like
pinball.
this.
He would do the whole pinball thing.
Like he did with Jason.
Because at least when Jason did it, it was funny because he was bulkier.
Oh
This one, they're about the same size.
But yeah, I mean, what else can you really say about this? It's just one
Save
of the
your money.
one of the worst.
Come to this theater, come to Lincoln Grand,
Yeah,
but see a different movie.
Yeah, we love the Lincoln Grand. We love their hospitality. Thank you guys so much for letting us supplying us with popcorn and letting us film, and just we love the Lincoln Grand so much. Just when you come here, see anything other than Dora the Explorer,
Literally
and
anything else.
and also anything else but Dora and
Or the Lion King.
King. I mean, you waste your money seeing Toy Story 4 for the 10th time you've seen it.
Or
To be fair, I have not seen Toy Story 4 yet,
It's
so
really good.
I
yeah,
cried.
'cause you got
He
you
cried.
I cried.
Did you?
No.
Wow, you're the,
She was dry-eyed, and I'm sitting there tearing up like, no! No! It didn't like that!
I
No!
was crying about
So
in,
you-
no spoilers.
In
Do-
Avengers.
Oh, yeah, that too. I cried in Avengers.
wow. Do you wear the pants in the relationship?
I do wear the pants, but I still have my sensitive moment.
Yeah,
He doesn't
yeah.
cry very
Yeah, you have
often,
your
so-
sensitive moments every time of the month.
Oh, we want to go that route. Don't make me go all Danny Trejo on you. I'll call for Boots.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
I'll call Boots in here.
I cried for Toy Story 4.
I cried through Toy Story 4, and I cried at the end of Avengers Endgame. I'm not ashamed.
Hey, I got teary-eyed at the end of Endgame.
Who didn't get teary-eyed?
We love you, Iron Man.
Proof that's when his star got a heart. I was dead at that moment. Just no! Anything but that. And then when you rewatch the movie and realize the suit of armor that he built was not to save himself, But to save the world, it was the shield around the world that they needed.
Calm down.
Oh, God, why? That man was too pure for that world.
Yes, I agreed to marry this one.
Yes, she said yes.
I don't
to
know
him.
how either.
Oh,
It's
wow.
her fate.
Oh yeah.
She sealed it.
Was the room dark, so you couldn't really see?
No.
It was outside the Navy Pier.
It was dark outside, though.
Yeah, it was raining and dark outside, but
So it was either that or we had a very long, awkward car ride.
3 hours.
3-hour car ride. And that's when you knew.
That's when she knew she sealed her fate, because my Chicago traffic noise was, oh my lord. The things that I said to drivers in Chicago. That's a
Even-
story for another day.
Yes, it's another day. Bottom line, guys, do not waste your money on this. Oh, hey, Coach Corona, great to see you. My old coach from Eisenhower High School.
Nice.
Also, I'll say this: there have been worse than this,
There has been.
but I will say this is a low point for Nickelodeon
Very much so.
because
They're
I
running out of
remember.
ideas.
Because I remember seeing films like Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius or the very first SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Mhm.
And I mean, they're coming out with a Rugrats movie now, which is live action, which is gonna
I
be
have some
terrifying.
hope for that. I have some hope for that. Because it's hard to mess up Rugrats.
They-
Literally, the worst they can do is make it to where the babies have magic powers to talk. But even then, that still fits in the realm of Rugrats because guess what? Their fantasies let them do anything they wanted.
Yeah,
So it's incredibly hard to mess that up. So if they botch it, Nickelodeon, I'm coming for you.
yeah.
I will make the road trip.
All three of us are coming for you.
I will make the road trip down to where you are in your studio,
Ooh,
and
thanks
I
for the
will
like.
hunt you down if you botch this Rugrats movie and the reboot show to finish it.
Yeah, the last good Nickelodeon film I saw was Hey Arnold, the Jungle Movie.
And that movie was phenomenal because it tied up the loose ends of the original show. That was a faithful finisher to the show.
I'm still upset we didn't get like another season from that show, but it's okay.
I mean, they kind of did run out of ideas towards the end of the show
Yeah.
because how far can you go with a philosophically deep football-headed kid? They had to bring his story arc to a
Yeah.
close.
Also, I think another one they're doing, I think they might be doing a live action Doug. Maybe?
Okay,
And
but
a
that's
reboot of Drake and Josh.
Yeah, the Drake and Josh reboot, they're doing that.
Yeah, but I think they said Drake and Josh are both coming back.
Yeah, they both are.
So I don't know if they're going to be coming back and it's going to be like a Where Are They Now kind of show with an adult version.
Or like a That's So Raven reboot that they have on Disney now.
Right.
Like she's a mom and
where she has her own family.
I heard
Yeah.
I heard that show is terrible.
It's actually not bad. In my
I've seen
personal
a few
opinion,
episodes.
in my personal opinion, it's like That's So Raven meets Full House, but
Kinda.
in a way that actually suits the format.
Yeah, now they
Because
have,
they
now
have-
Ravens Home and Fuller House.
But the thing is, though, is with the Ravens home, they do pass on a little bit more and actually do build on what the original show created because a few of her kids actually has the same power she has.
Yeah.
So they do actually do good with the show, and it's not just her anymore.
Yeah.
Because now she has the parental role as an actual parent, but also teaching her family how to use their powers properly.
And
It's
they're-
actually really great because her kids don't just have the same powers, they have different powers too. So it's a little bit like Thundermans in that aspect, but you got a little dash of Thundermans, you've got That's So Raven's originality, and then you've got some Full House to wrap it all into one surprisingly good gift.
a good gift. This movie is not.
Nope,
This
never.
This movie is not a good gift. This movie is. It's a.
There are things to be said about this movie that we should not say.
No, I'm not gonna say it because I haven't a tear left to shed.
None of us do.
I will say I do apologize to both of you for joining me for this
I will say
horrendous.
I would say I'm sorry, but the only one who needs to be apologized to is this show because as of today, it's officially dead.
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer, may you forever rest in peace.
Forever rest in peace. We will always miss Dora the Explorer, but now she's no longer with us because this is not Dora.
Nope.
This is not what kids grew up on.
This is not what any of us grew up on, and it's not going to be at any point in time.
And you know it's bad when a talking sponge gets relevance back, and yet one of the best educational shows of all time is lying flat on its face.
I mean, Sesame Street does better than it. And it's been running on for over 1,000 episodes. And their steam is still high up there. They are still one of the most highly rated kids' TV programs, one of the most beloved. Their cast is still around for those who have wanted to stick around as long as they have. And even for the cast members they've had to replace over time, they still give that show great amount of passion and love. And they still do great things with that show. They get their relevance from their pop culture references. I've caught myself going back and watching some of their more popular skits from recent years, like their Game of Thrones skits. Oh my gosh, I was cracking up. Yet this movie here made me literally feel like I could have been I could have literally been Bugs Bunny or Elmer Fudd from the old Looney Tunes show and just steamed out my ears because of how mad I was. Because
he was so mad that he got so tense.
I was like ready to throw
like
something.
Like,
because
shaking.
it was just, the movie itself is an insult to the show.
It is.
Not like a satirical insult where it's a, haha, we get it, laugh it off, yeah, keep going, and you'll enjoy it as a joke. This is the kind of thing you give as a gag gift when you want someone to know that you're not very fond of them at the moment. This is the kind of thing you put on to punish your child.
Yeah. I wouldn't. Would you guys let your kids watch this?
No.
Ever?
No. And if I ever see that DVD in the house, I'm smashing it. Just
what? We do know that we need an opinion from the mother here.
Don't say mother because she's not a mother yet. We have a few years before that.
Well, she's gonna be the mother.
She's gonna be a mother.
Yeah.
But not right this minute.
But still. Either way, would you let your kids watch this crap?
Out of anyone who should watch this movie, it should be a kid, though. You know what I mean? Like, this is, like the lady said in there, this is meant for children, so...
Yeah.
Older people, I mean, yes, they'll get the innuendos or whatever, but...
But even a child needs to be treated intelligently.
Dustin
I mean, the original show did teach kids stuff because they knew they didn't know everything, but it also treated them intelligently.
It's a fun-loving little children's movie. That's why it's not good for older people.
But again,
this is obviously clearly for kids, and you want to take your kids to it. I don't get it. Just more power to you.
If you take your kids to it, make sure you have a way to knock yourself out. Maybe put in an earbud on one side so your kid can't see it.
Or maybe have a few sips of Jack. I don't know.
Just sit there. Maybe try to zone out, because otherwise you're going to be sitting there asking your kid why they wanted to see this. And as a punishment, you can always take them to go see the scary stories to tell in the dark.
Because you're excited for that.
Oh, I'm excited. Beyond excited for that film.
Although I did watch Doug Walker's review of it, and he's like, half of it's good, half of it's like, Are You Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon.
Hey. I don't care if half of it's like Are You Afraid of the Dark? That show still had some good scares. It had some good scares for being a kid show.
I'm not saying it didn't.
But at the same time, we're not Doug Walker.
Oh, no, because we're better.
Don't say that, because then they won't want to do a crossover.
Not yet. We're kidding. I mean, he's not going to see this, because he's all the way up in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't know we exist yet.
Keyword. Yet.
Oh, now it's raining. Even God's sad about that.
Yeah, she's right. Even
I mean, that's not as bad as the jokes I was making earlier.
Even God is upset at this movie. Like, you know a movie is bad when God himself is literally trying to stop you.
I don't know what this movie thought it was doing. I don't know why it thought it could do it. Did not work out well.
Just do not waste your money on this. Just wait for it to come out on Netflix. Watch it for free if you want to punish your child.
But if you wanted to come see it if you wanted to see a movie of any kind in theaters, whether it was this one or not, come on down to the Lincoln Grand Theater, because there they'll treat you like family, and 2, it's a real pretty building, and 3,
it's a beautiful
the
building.
Movies that they choose are really good, and they always do free movie deals to where I believe it's Sundays and Tuesdays. I think the sign said Sunday and Tuesday of this week.
They even show classics too.
Yeah, they do. And
right now they're showing the first ever live action Scooby-Doo movie.
I think that's Sunday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sunday and Tuesday, they're going to be playing the first Scooby-Doo live-action film from, I think it was, 2000, 2002?
2002, yeah.
And they'll be doing that for a free movie Summerfest. So come on down and bring your kids to that, because at least that's more enjoyable than Dora the Explorer.
Yes.
That's a Hanna-Barbera classic and redone in a way that's at least entertaining.
I swear, if they do another live-action Hanna-Barbera cartoon like they did this film, I will see you blow a gasket.
If they do a live-action Hanna-Barbera movie, it better be based off the Flintstones comic that DC did, because if so, I would pay to see that turn into a TV show. I would pay big bucks to see that be made into a TV show, because that comic, for being 12 issues long, did a lot of good things. It was an actual satire. It was a good comic, and yet it's still based on Flintstones mythos. That was great. If they want to remake a Scooby-Doo movie or even a TV show for an older audience, do the Scooby Apocalypse comic. That is literally handwritten gold for you. Yeah, there's a lot of weird elements to it, but at the same time, it's the same characters we know and love, but retold in a different manner that actually means something to adults who grew up with the show.
Don't get that in this film.
Nope, this one's an insult.
Yep. So overall, guys, this is an insult to the show. It's an insult to kids' intelligence.
This is like Nickelodeon insulting itself.
Mm-hmm. This movie actually makes me pray to see SpongeBob.
Sadly, I agree. And I'm not even a SpongeBob fan.
No. Well, anyway, guys, we want to thank you so much, and we want to thank the Lincoln Grand for having us and letting us film.
And for their great hospitality.
Yes, they are fantastic. Anytime you're in Lincoln, Illinois, and you want to see a film, come to this one. You will not regret it. It's great prices, great food, great people working there.
And as we get some good equipment going on, you'll probably be seeing us record there often.
Yep. And also, she was nice enough to give us a shout out on the Lincoln Grand Facebook page. So go ahead and check that out.
Check out the page, check out her thoughts of us, and then look again at our new profile picture, because it's thanks to her that we were actually able to get a more professional looking photo.
Yeah, and we're very proud of that.
And later tonight, we're hopefully going to be able to take it and put it as our cover photo as well.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, guys, we want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Zach and Ariel, for joining me.
Anytime.
And as we continue this series, I pray to God
we find something good to review.
We find something better than Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
One can only hope.
One can only dream. So until next time, I'm Michael Eaton.
And I'm Zach Watson.
And this is Two Dudes Review.
Yep.
So
Catch us next week.
Have a good night.